Hi everyone, Cassie is here, and today I'm going to go over my bite build for a Lich Mythic Path. This bite build can be used for other Mythic Paths as well, but this specific one is designed around the Lich. You can adjust it if you want for the other ones. So, let's get started. The first class we're going to want to go with here is the Monk Scaled Fist. This will give us the charisma to our armor we're going to be looking for. We're going to go with Half Elf and Kindred Rays to get the extra charisma bonus to help with the armor. For this, you can choose whatever you want here. I go for Martial Discipline so that I can get the extra +1 to my unarmed attack. This, I go with 20 charisma, lower the dex, bring that up, and con. You can have higher con and lower your strength if you want, but by the end of the game, your constitution is going to be negligible because it's going to be based off of Lich, which doesn't have any constitution. So this is what I recommend. But if you want to go a little different, you can go there and put 3 points like that into intelligence. But we're going with that. And here we want to go with persuasion, perception, and the Knowledge Arcana. What was I thinking? Knowledge Arcana. Knowledge Arcana because we're going to go Dragon Disciple later on, and Perception is because it's always useful on every single character, and Persuasion because, oh, what's wrong with Persuasion? First level, we're going to go with Weapon Focus, Unarmed Strike, doing a lot of those. And for the bonus feat for the monk, we're going with Dragon Style. Get that extra attack, or extra damage, I should say. So here, doesn't matter. You're going to want to go with an evil god, though, so you can get a lawful evil option there. We're going to go with that one. It fits with the death, so there. Lawful evil. Doesn't matter. Madman seems appropriate. CS. Go. All right. Level 2, we're going with Oracle, so that way we get rid of that nasty minus the dexterity to our armor class. Here we're going with the same 1, 2, and 3. Wolf's Guard Face. This gets us our first bite. That's bite number 1. Nature. Going with Nature's Whispers. This will add our charisma bonus to our dexterity instead of our dexterity modifier for our armor class. Very useful. This one doesn't really matter. You can go with Cure or Inflict, whichever you prefer. Just for a sheer theme, I went with Inflict. Again, here, not important. Choose something that will be useful to you at lower levels. So, Shield of Faith, for example. And Protection. Now, level 3, we're going to go with Cross-Blooded Sorcerer. This, we only get 2, so we're going to put 2 points in those 2. It's fine. We'll get more points into that later on. And here we're going to want to focus on our damage, because that's what we want to do. Make sure we get that damage up, so we're taking Power Attack. Here we want to do 2 Bloodlines, because that's what the Crossblood is for. First one will be any of these dragon options you want. This will give us an additional bite attack. So I'm going to go with blue. No particular reason why blue. I just go with blue. And here, I'm going to go with combat casting. This one really doesn't matter at all because you're not going to be casting in battle hardly ever. You're going to be focusing on dealing damage. So just choose one and move on. The other one I'm going to go with is the Serpentine Bloodline. Or I don't think you do not get the bite attack for Serpentine Bloodline here, but we will get one later on. So here, we want to actually take something that will be useful to us. We're going to go with Shield. Actually, no, we don't want to do shield there. Oh well, doesn't matter. That's fine. Still okay. And at 4th level, we're going to go with Blood Rager Primalist. Now, we go with Primalist because that gives us access to rage powers as well, which is what we really want with this. Here, strength. 1, 2, and 3 points there. And here, what we want to do is we want to go with Serpentine Bloodline. The reason why we chose Serpentine Bloodline for the last one is because if you didn't choose, if you did not choose Crossbladed Sorcerer, then you would only have one of these choices here. And if you chose Draconic for the bite for the Sorcerer, you would not have the option for Serpentine Bloodline for the bite via Blood Rager. So we're going for Serpentine Bloodline here to get the bite. Now, that bite is going to be restricted to the number of rounds per day that you can use it, which we will remove later on with Mythic ranks. Here, we're going to continue with Blood Rager Primalist. And keep putting points into those. We are looking for Dazzling Display next. This unlocks Shadow defenses for us, which we will take later on. Level 5. We're on to level 6 now. Another Blood Rager Primalist. And not a whole lot to this level. Nice and simple. We'll get to the Mythic ranks after everything is over. So start with Blood Rager Primalist. And we are going to change for 2 rage powers. All right. 1, 2, and since we've maxed out, or we've got the 5 ranks in Arcana, you can go ahead and put at this point wherever you want to put it into. You can put it into Use Magic Device if you'd like, so that way you can get a whole bunch of points there. Or I always prefer to go with Athletics. And it's just because he's going to have a lot of strength by the end of it, and it'll be really useful. He'll be really good with it. Here, like basically every single melee class at level 7, you're going to want to give Outflank. Outflank is so useful that there's no reason you should never not have it. And for the rage powers, you want to go with Lethal Stance, because it gives an additional +3 to or +1 to your attack roll, and we're going to take 1 more level in Blood Rager Primalist, so that's going to give us. Oh, never mind. This is the 4th level. What am I saying? So this will give us +1 to our melee attack rolls, or an additional +1. So +2 to our melee attack rolls. Very handy. And also Animal Fury. This gives us another bite. So this is now 4 bites that we have. 1 from Wolfsguard Face, 1 from Draconic Bloodline from the Sorcerer, 1 from the Serpentine Bloodline for the Primalist, and 1 from Animal Fury from the Primalist. So that's 4 bite attacks. Here we want to take Shield and Mage Armor, because these are the things that we will be using to increase our defense as we go on. Level 7. Sorry, level 8. It says level 7. It just confuses me. Now we're going with our Dragon Disciple. Here we go. And more in strength. There and there. Dragon Disciple will only get 2. It's fine. 1 natural armor, kind of nice. Going into level 9. Going with Dragon Disciple. And put the 2 points into the skills. Here, you have a few choices where you can go with. You can choose Shatter defenses here, but most of your companions probably won't have Shatter defenses by this point because they have so many other feats they need to take that it's not necessary. So instead, you can just pick kind of whatever you want. Just for the purposes of expediency, I'm going to go accomplish Sneak Attacker to make sure he does more damage with Sneak Attack. Here you want to pick Blood Rager, so that way you can get make the spells last a little bit longer with Blood Rager. And now we're going to go with Blind Fight here. Blind Fight's never a bad thing to have, so I always recommend Blind Fight. Okay, and for the next spell, this one again, doesn't really matter. Just add whatever you want. I go for protection from alignment so that we can get protection from evil. We're going to level up again, on to level 10. Here, we're going to take Alchemist. Low game, there we go. Vivisectionist. And back to 3 points per. Here, again, doesn't really matter what you choose. Let's get yet another shield, because why not? And True Strike. Alchemist Vivisectionist will give us our sneak attack, will give us an additional 1 die of sneak attack, so 1 more d6 damage, and it gives us our mutagen. So, important little level there. Or very good 1 level dip, if you will. For the rest of the levels, 11 through 20, we're going to go all of them into Monk Scaled Fist. This will get us to our additional attacks with the monk, so we'll get even more attacks, and we'll also focus on the base attack bonus as high as it can possibly get. So therefore, we will get, by the end of the game, we will have maximum base attack bonus. And put the skills and the skill points there. Here, we want to go with Shatter Defenses, if you didn't take it the last level. There you are. Shatter Defenses. We're going to take Combat Reflexes because even though our dexterity is really not good, in fact, it's not useful, we still get the ability to make attacks of opportunity while flat-footed. Plus, if we have anything that increases our dexterity above 12, then we'll also benefit from that too. So Combat Reflexes, useful. Leveling up again. Sticking with Monk, as I said. Next. Continue with Strength. 2 and 3. Here is, it doesn't really matter which one you choose for this one, so I'll just go with Blue Dragon, just matching the last one I had. Leveling up again. On to level 13, Monk Scaled Fist. Skill points in. Here we're going to want to take Seize the Moment Teamwork feat. This is very useful for getting additional attacks of opportunity on opponents. So those are always a good thing to go with, get that attack of opportunity out there. We're going to take Barkskin. Not going to quite get to 12th level, so it's not going to be as good as it potentially could be, but in a pinch, you can go ahead and cast it on yourself, so it's fine. More levels. Monk. The game does not like it when you take so many different classes, by the way. It tends to lag. It takes a long time to load. All right, this one doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with Hammer Blow, though. Hammer Blow is probably the best of those bunch for you to go with, even if you're not going to really use them very much. Doing the Monk. All right. Here is another one. You're going to go with your choice, whatever you want to do. You can choose Improved Critical here. I've got that set up for later on my my spreadsheet here for how I'm building this. So go with whatever you want to build. So you can go with Crushing Blow if you're going to use your Stunning Fist. I don't really do that very much, so I don't do that. I'm probably going to go with Dreadful Carnage just because I like the idea of Dreadful Carnage with this build. You're going to be killing a lot of things and it's good to demoralize your foes. Although you're probably going to get that naturally from just being a Lich anyway. So if you want to stick with like improved blind fight or improved initiative, that's another thing that you can go with. Here we're going with Dragon Ferocity. Make that even more strength. More damage. Both True Strike there or Sudden Speed, either one, whichever one you prefer. So if you want to get to the opponent really quick, Sudden Speed. You want to make sure you hit, True Strike. On to next level of Monk. Another point into strength. Not a whole lot to that level. Leveling again. I'm going Monk again. 2 and 3. Get another feat to put in. And normally I don't recommend this feat in any build, but this one works pretty well because you really have a high base attack bonus, or not base attack bonus, but attack bonus in general. So you're going to be hitting a lot. So you're going to be attacking 13 or so times per round. And even if you hit 3 times in a row, you're going to be doing extra damage with that. So this is not a bad thing to have. And here, again, doesn't really matter which one you choose. I go with Abundant Step because I like to be able to step through doors. Another level in Monk. And here, if you didn't take Hammer Blow last time, I would recommend it over whatever is left in here. But here, it really doesn't matter, like at all. So I'm just going to go with Shattering Punch. Got Improved Evasion, which is a good thing to have. Even though you don't really fail those saves very often. You'll see why in a little bit. Another level in Monk. All right, and here we're going to get our Improved Critical. Here we're going to go with Improved Critical Bite because we have a lot of bites, so that's a very good thing to have at this point. We're also going to go with Improved Critical. Get Unarmed Attack because we have 5 unarmed attacks per round. So a lot of unarmed attacks, a lot of bites. Again, doesn't matter. So Sudden Speed. Your preference there. Strike Lawful, good to have. And last level, Monk again. So here, because we have all evens, the only thing we're going to put it into is Dexterity. That'll give us an extra attack of opportunity, so that's not wasted. All right, so as you can see, by level 20, because we put 11 levels into Monk and everything else, you have a 16 base attack bonus, so you do have a full set of attacks to use. And we're going to complete that. Now we're going for the Mythic ranks. First Mythic rank, you're going to go close to the Abyss. This will give you a Gore attack, so that's just an additional attack you're going to be doing every round. We're also going to go with the Limitless Rage, because we don't want to ever not be blood raging as much as possible. Plus, as soon as you're able to turn into a Lich, you will be immune to exhaustion. Or fatigue, I should say. So you can go from one battle to the next without having to worry about it. So you'll always have Rage on. And here, Mythic rank 2, we're going to go with another Mythic ability. We're going to take Brutality Incarnate. This will make it so none of your bites, the only thing that will resist your bite damage will be, as it says, N over everything. So all of your attacks will be doing full damage. And considering how many bite attacks we're getting, that's very useful. Mythic rank 3. We're going to take Enduring Spells because we want our spells to last a long time. Not just the spells that we chose, but specifically the spells we get from the Lich spellbook. Do not choose Mythic Spellbook Sorcerer. That's a bad idea. Go with regular Mythic Spellbook. Your Skeletal Champion doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and go with Skeletal Marksman, just because. Here, the big one we want to get is Fear Control. This will make it so we can attack very effectively against enemies that are shaken, which there's going to be a lot of them. And also, they have to make a save or they're going to be shaken automatically just by you being in the area. So this way you won't have to use Dazzling Display on every enemy you come across, so you don't have to waste a round. Very, very useful ability for this build. Mythic rank 4. Here, I'm going to go with another mythic ability and take Archmage Armor. This way, we can turn our armor up a little bit higher. Go from just 4 from Archmage Armor up to 8. So, and onward up as it goes. Pretty standard for anyone able to cast Archmage or the armor spell. Mage Armor. For a Skeletal Champion, I would recommend Bard at this point just because he gives him the Dirge of Doom ability. So it's just another way to unnerve your opponents, so that way you can get the Dazzling Display, the Fear bonus on them, or sorry, Frightened bonus on them. So it makes them easier to hit. Mythic rank 5. Here we're going to go with Greater Enduring Spells. That way the spells last a really long time. Cool. Rank 6. Going with Power Attack Mythic. Time to start getting that damage buffed. That damage up. We're also going to go with Weapon of Death. This makes it so we do extra damage to all living creatures, which is almost everything you're going to be fighting for the most part. So, very useful ability. Mythic rank 7. Here, we're going to turn... Wait, it's up here. Sorry, my bad. Bloodline Ascendance. We're going to turn that per round bite that we have into a permanent bite. So Scaled Soul. Makes it so we no longer have to worry about that, but we want a permanent bite every round. So we're going to continue and complete. Mythic rank 8. Here, Destructive Shockwave. Don't expect to miss too often, but every once in a while, there's going to be a really high AC enemy, and so you're going to miss. And since you have anywhere from 10 to 20 attacks, depending on how buggy the game is, you're going to be doing, if you miss 20 times, then you're still going to be doing your strength bonus, which in my game is probably going to be something like plus 15 to plus 17 damage around. So if you miss 20 times, you're still doing 15 damage per hit or per miss. Here, again, doesn't matter. I go with Fighter just to increase the base attack bonus, make him more useful. Just, again, doesn't matter. Arcane Strike, sure. Bardish, why not? And now Mythic rank 9. Let's go ahead and turn ourselves into a Lich, shall we? Here, finally going to be getting Ever Ready. A little late to be getting this at this point in the game. You usually want to get this earlier, but everything else was important for this build. And this is still a really good ability to get, so definitely want to take it. Here, we're going to be taking Decaying Touch because we're going to be doing a lot of natural attacks. Normally, I would recommend something like Indestructible Bones because it really makes it harder for them to kill you, which is helpful. But because we're attacking so many times, this is just a better thing to use. And they're all natural attacks, I should say. So fists and bites and gores. Okay, the final mythic ability you're going to take, which is the very tail end of the game, is flawless attacks. So that way your monk attacks don't take a penalty. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you what the other one, what the full build looks like once you're fully buffed with have all the gear on. Okay, so this is the fully complete Lich, level 20, level 10 mythic rank, fully buffed with all the spells that you could get on him, all the abilities you can use with him. And here you can see he has 90 AC, so very high AC, very difficult for most enemies to hit. Really high flat-footed, touch is a little bit lower than I typically like, but hey, even with 59 touches, still really high. Your saves are very high, very hard for you to fail anything, so that's great. He's turned into an elemental right now because of his spell, so that's why you see the claw attacks, the fire damage there. Got 42 strength, so plus 16. So with that destructive shockwave, every time he misses, he's still doing 16 damage. Now let's go over to Marshall. Got great AC, great saves, high attack bonus, and here's the number of attacks you get. You see 2 attacks there, claw. That's not counting the 5 unarmed strikes from being a monk. You see 1 bite, 2, 3, 4. There's a dragon bite, 5. There's a gore, 6. And there's the 5 monk on. Okay, that's seems like that's a lot more than there should be. Feels like there was a bug going on here. But still, essentially you should see, depending on what haste spells you have on you, you should see anywhere from 10 to 15 attacks. Probably 13 is more reasonable per round. And especially if you have, where is it? There it is. This spell in particular is going to be one of the most useful spells you can have, Vampiric Blade. You cast this on yourself, lasts 24 hours, and you do 1d6 plus caster level damage, so, which is, caster level is going to be 20, so 21 to 26 extra damage, and it heals you for all the damage that you do. So you're going to hit from anywhere from 70 damage to, say, 130, or unless you crit, then it's going to be even higher. So let's say 70 damage, and if you crit, it's going to be, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. It's been a while since I've done this one. But this will basically make it so if you take damage in a round, you will fully heal it by the end of the round because you're doing so much damage. So you go down to 150 health. You attack once with all your 13 attacks, and you get back up to full health. Which is what makes this guy so difficult to kill. He's already really hard to hit, and he doesn't really take that much damage from spells because of his incredibly high saves. Also, you see he's got damage reduction, and he's got great resistances too, and immunities. Plus, he's also got spell resistance up here too, which isn't bad. Could be better, depending on the build, but this one isn't bad. So he's really difficult to hit, he's really difficult to do damage to, and he is very efficient at dealing damage to enemies, and when he does, he heals himself just in case he did get hit. So he is very, very deadly and very hard to kill. So if this is a build you want to go for, by all means, I encourage you to do so. But yep, that will be the extent of this build guide. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please do go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I do stream on Twitch, usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, though sometimes also on Tuesdays and or Thursdays as well. But yeah, that's all I got. Until I see you again, have a good one.